Well, good afternoon and welcome once again to Ed's Orchids. Now I've just been doing some watering now and I've still got a couple to water there. I've got a mixture of calcium nitrate, magnesium and seaweed. Well, we try and grow our plants well and we look after them and we feed them and we water them and we flush them and we do all sorts of things with them. And when they start flowering, we're very happy because we know we've done it right. But then things make us a bit unhappy. This is the Fragment Richter Eye, which I've shown you. But I just came in this morning and this was on the floor. Only opened, what, 2 or 3 weeks ago? And they should have stand longer than that. They generally stand a couple of months, these. But that's the trouble with Fragment. The flowers never wither, they never look like they're going to die, they just drop off when they're in full bloom. And you walk in and there your beautiful blooms are on the floor. And you've waited years for it. So what do? You just pick them up, put them in the bin and start again. Oh well, that's what happens to them. Shame, but happens all the time with Fragment. Who I have left for watering is this Renanthera. She's coming on nicely again. We're on a beautiful new root here. You see it? Beautiful new root. So we just bung that in. Make sure the new root's in. And we'll leave that in for, what? Just a good 5 minutes, that's all. This is the one. I cut the bottom off it, and the other one's over here, which I'll show you in a minute when this is taken up as much feed as it needs. Well, that's been in there a good 5 minutes, so we'll put this back. Make sure the roots are well watered. They'll get done again tomorrow if the weather's nice. There's plenty of new root growth, although you can't see it because I've lifted it up high, but beautiful new roots. Then we'll get the other half of it and we'll put that one in. And this is doing okay. Well, that's the bottom half soaking, and look at the new growth on top, coming along nicely. Coming out right from the stump of where I sawed it off. So that's doing okay. Nice to know I'm going to have another plant. Another 10 or 15 years, that might be good. Well, I finished all the watering for today, and I've done all the cattleyas that were hung up there, and to stop them dripping all over me I've just put them under the Mars hydro light, which I put them under there because they'd be dripping all over the place if I just hung them up, so I just leave them on here till they dry out. But look at the growth on that sheath there on the King of Taiwan. That's coming on a treat. Well, I hope they'll all find a bud in it. Will be nice. And we're still on the Fragment because I've got a nice little surprise. They've all been on the drip system, and I found one right at the back there that I never see, or I never bother with. It's coming into spike. I'll just get it and have a look at it. Well, isn't that nice? Fragment Robert Yanquini, and I thought I virtually lost this when I kept them in the house because it deteriorated the plant somewhat, and as you can see it's flowering from some leaves that I've had to chop off, but nevertheless it's flowering since I've had it on this drip, so that's very good. pleased about that because they're a beautiful, beautiful flower. It's a cross between Fritz Schomburg and Bessai, and it's a much smaller plant, but the flowers on it don't reflex backwards. They're always nice and flat and a beautiful red when you see them. So I'm looking forward to that one coming into flower. And another frag I haven't showed you for a while is this ruby slippers, and this is a cross between Caudatum and Bessai. So I have heard these are difficult to grow, but this is growing very well at the moment, and got a growth there coming up with a nice new leaf. Coming up with nice new leaves there, and I don't think there's anything growing around the bottom. We'll have a look. Can't see anything. Oh, there's something there coming up. What it is, I don't know. Never seen anything like it. But I'll have a look at that and see what it is. But that's doing okay as well. That's Fragment pedium ruby slippers. Absolutely beautiful bloom that when it does flower. Well, we'll have a look at some Paphiopedilums now and see how they're going on. And these are all in the husk which I cured, and some have been in it 2 or 3 weeks. So I might just take one out of his pot and have a look at them. But we'll just go through them and show you what it is and show you what they are. Now this is an unidentified multiflorum Paphiopedilum. The only thing it's got on there is DOH, and this is growing very nicely, putting up a nice new growth in the middle. The next one we have here is a little Adductor, Paphiopedilum Adductor, and that's been in probably 2 to 3 weeks. So we might have a look at that one because that had no roots on at all. Got a Pharianum here that's growing very nicely, and that's just starting to put up a new centre leaf. Now we've got the Dianum, which is still in bark and not doing much, so we might have a look at that as well. Might have no roots on that one at all. Now what's it? Oh, Magic Lantern. So that's alright, that's putting a new leaf up there. Very slow growing those. Then we've got a Paphiopedilum Succuculi, and that's just put up a new growth over the last month or two. There's a new growth, and that's now in the husk. This one is an Emersonii that's not doing too well, and that one is an angel hair that has been standing like that for months without a movement, so I decided to put it into the husks. So which one I would have a look at that? I don't know. We'll have a look at the Adductor because that's been in there the longest. Well, here's the Adductor. We'll just take it out of its pot and see if the husks have done anything to it. Seems pretty firm. It does seem pretty firm. I don't know whether I should take this out or not. No. I'll look at it this way. Well, I've packed that in pretty well. We'll take it up to the camera and have a look. Well, it does look like there's signs of activity there. Right at the bottom. Looks new. Looks like there's a new little root forming there. And some tips there. So we'll get that back in. And there as well. Really nice. So we'll get that back in, have a look underneath, see if there's any mealybug. That's where it generally gets to. Nope. No mealybug, so we'll put that one up again. And I think we'll have a look at the, what's the nearest one, the magic lantern. Well, here's the magic lantern. Well, here's the magic lantern that I've had since it was a little growth off a big plant I used to have. So I've had this since it was very, very small. We'll see what this is going on. There's a bad leaf here, needs to come off eventually, but it's still hard, so I'll leave it on. Let's see what the roots are like on this one. Nice and easy. Oh! Now then. Let me get the camera now. Right, I think this magic lantern likes the husks. Look, there's 4 new growing tips on it. Absolutely lovely. So hopefully, if it carries on like this, we can extract some blooms off it, which are beautiful on these. Right, let's get it potted up quick. And I think we'll finish up by just having a look at this diurnum. This doesn't look to be particularly good. This isn't in coconut husk, it's just in a medium-sized bark and a few growth stones. But it's not moving this, so might as well just have a look at it. No. This one's absolutely awful. Wet through for some reason, but awful. And a little bit of mealy underneath. Ah, right. I can just see 2 mealies. One there, you can tell they've got a little tail on them. There's another over here somewhere, there. I don't know whether it'll focus on that or not, but there's 2 mealies. So I'll give that a spray. But the roots on this are terrible. Absolutely awful. And I'm surprised how wet that is. That hasn't done the roots any good. So what I'll do, I'll just scrape these 2 bugs off. One gone, another gone, and I'll see if I can pot this up in something better. See what we've got. So I'm going to put this diurnum in this little pot here, but I need it to dry out quickly. So I'm just going to got the soldering iron, here we are, and put some holes in. Quite easy to do. Just touch it and go straight through. All the holes in the pot, and I have enough, I think, just enough of this coconut husk to put this plant in. So I think the dead roots are at the bottom. I'll not cut those off, no, I just want a small amount on the bottom. That's it. We'll just put some of this potted medium in, and this won't get watered now for at least a couple of weeks, I don't think. I'll have to have it dried out properly, because it's pointless watering them, isn't it, when they have no roots. What's the point of watering when there's no roots? And if you water too much, you get rid of the roots, don't you? Right, we'll leave that like that. That's that dianum, beautiful little plant when they do flower. Well, that's about all today, so thank you very much for watching, and we'll just run along the top shelf for you to see what there is. Some more little paths right over there. More hydrolite there with the cat layers there, which is just reminding me they won't hanging up again, and the light switching off. So thanks very much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you all later. Bye.